y'all are the upholders of tradition. I know, Taurus. I know that supposedly y'all supposed to be all kinds of protective of that which is the foundational, the fundamental, that which has been established. I understand that, but I also understand the cards that I'm looking at, and I'm gonna let you know what I know, and that is you're switching shit up. You are really taking stock right now about what needs to go and what needs to stay. Ugh. And you're basically ready to cut a bitch out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you be like, and I'm not talking about just man or a woman, it doesn't matter. You're ready to decide, this doesn't work for me, this does work for me. It's not coming from a place of hatred. It's coming from a place of self-esteem and self-respect, and also self-growth, because this has been a very transitional year for you. I don't think people realize how much this year has impacted Taurus, because it really shook. This year was all about shaking the foundations, right? Unsteadying the earth. And you're all about making sure the foundation stays solid. And that's what was happening to you, is like you were shaking. You were being shook in a way that really almost like shook awoke. Right? I know people use that word woke way too much, and in a bad way usually. But ultimately, it was shaking you up. Uranus has been with you for quite some time, and most of the time it was in retrograde. So there's this thing of just like really realizing what foundations were actually not so good. You know, like really what didn't work. Like, let's just talk about, forget about the world stage. Forget about that. Because honestly, it's not, forget about it. What matters is you. What matters is how your life has been personally impacted. Like, that's what matters in these videos, right? That's what your soul searching has to do with. And, this whole year was like you really kind of questioning all that you thought was right and wrong. And if you look back in this year, you'll see, as we head into the conclusion of this year, thank God, right? We made it! Yay! Like, you'll see many different times when you butted heads with somebody that was important to you, somebody that you loved, somebody that you trust, somebody that you would not just write off. But you butted heads with them on social issues, political issues, moral issues, things that you thought maybe you had in common. It just kind of made you question your beliefs and why you believe them. And it either strengthened them or it helped to change them. But it really did awaken you to the ability to be a lot more malleable. I honestly think this year impacted a lot of earth signs that way. This sense of, okay, because foundations are good, but ultimately foundations need to be checked for their integrity every once in a while, right? And ultimately, if we don't do it in too long, those foundations start to corrode, because foundations only stay healthy if they're regularly maintained and monitored. If they're not, well, then they get corrupt and corroded, and a lot of shit starts to crumble. And ultimately, Taurus this year was about what's crumbling and why, and taking responsibility for that. In your life, there was a lot of things that you had to resolve. And currently, there's a current situation that's happening where it's kind of all not coming to, I wouldn't say coming to a head, but it's like it's a very representative moment of the way that this year has been impacting you. And that moment is basically you have a promise, you've made a promise to somebody. There could be an engagement here, there could be something, there's mostly just a commitment or a promise, or a promise to commit, something like that. A promise to show up somewhere, or to be somewhere, or do something. An engagement, not an engagement as in an engagement ring, though that could be, but also just an engagement, like going to an engagement. But there's a lot of talk about it. Like, everybody's talking about it, everybody's chatting about it. This seems to be a big thing. It seems to be like maybe they're worried about you. People could be really concerned about you, about, will you keep this commitment? Will you continue to stay in a role that you're in? That kind of energy. But it's definitely garnered a lot of chatter. Lots of people talking. People are talking about Taurus. They're chatting it up. Maybe even just talking about the foundation or the home itself and discussing different family matters. It could be family talking about this. Maybe they're concerned, maybe they're worried about some place that you're supposed to be, or something that you're supposed to do, or something that you're expected to do. So there's some sort of expectation behind here because you did make a commitment to something, and it's got the family talking. Or maybe you're part of the chatter. It's like, maybe you're part of the chatter. Something's going on here in the foundation of all foundations, which is really the family unit when it comes to human relationships. So there's something going on in your family unit that's like, that's kind of like causing a stir right now. And ultimately, you're smart enough at this point in your life to know what it is you want and what it is that isn't good for you. And ultimately, in the past, what you would have done is you would have tried to make everything okay and tried to find a way to say yes and tried to find a way to do what you expected to do, but you're just beyond that right now. There's a sense of wisdom about you that is saying to you, say no, don't do this. Just because it's not what's right for you. And you're not doing it disrespectfully, though. There's no disrespect. There actually is a tremendous amount of respect when you basically tell somebody the truth. Like, you're wise enough to know better, right? You're not, I love this card because you look at her, she's like dressed up to the nines, but she doesn't care if she's being looked at. It's not about being seen. It's not about being paid attention to. Sometimes it's about stepping back and saying, not anymore. It's a change. I'm ready to change. I want to change. Maybe in the past, it was what it was and I did what I did, but ultimately it's not anymore. It's passed on. This is not my time anymore. This isn't my time. Or now I'm ready for a change. Like, I need, hello, I'm still here. I get to have a say in this too. And for me right now, this isn't what's right for me. I know what you guys expect of me. I know what the expectations are, but ultimately I have to tell you, that's not my priority. My priority has got to be what I need for me. Right? And right now, it just may be not the right timing. This is resolution here. Definitely making a decision, but this card also speaks to you got to confront something. You have to confront something. You have to stand your ground. But you can find ways to stand your ground through love and not hate, and through being the best of yourself. So ultimately, that's what you're doing. You're kind of asserting yourself. And for many of you, you may be asserting yourself for the first time in a long time and saying, no, I don't believe this. And no, this isn't right for me. And no, I'm not going to show up where you expect me to, because ultimately I know that I'm better somewhere else, right? Maybe there's questions too. There's maybe there could be a few concerns here, a sense of, you're going to resolve this, whatever conflict is going on, and, let people talk. Taurus, let them talk. You can't control that. What you have to do and all you can control is you and the decisions that you make. And right now, you got to make the decisions that are right for you. Conclusions are within reach. Whatever you're confused about, whatever information you do not have, you're getting that information. And ultimately, I think that you're being fair in waiting for this piece of information to come in. It's a reliable piece of information. It's coming in. Ultimately, you will get the information that you need to be able to make a decision that you feel comfortable with, okay? Because it's not about a decision that they feel comfortable with. They're going to try to push on you, be like, yo, you're not a good person if you don't, bullshit. Ultimately, you're being very pragmatic about this. You're keeping it together so that you can be fair. But ultimately, you're like, listen, if it comes in this way, it's good for me. If it comes in that way, it's not good for me. I'm going to wait for this piece of information. I'm going to let it be the deciding factor. So ultimately, there's a little bit of objectivity in there, and I'm just going to have to do me. I'm going to have to do what I have to do. You're very close to achieving your goal. Something is coming to the surface. There's something that is bubbling up from underneath, or you're bubbling up from underneath. There's a sense of something emerging, and it's very, very close. You'll soon be able to see it, to recognize it, to grasp it, or to come up for air. Now, We also have the balance card. This card shows up when there's something in your life that's been off kilter and off balance. And from the look of these cards, it's sort of your relationships and what you expect of yourself in relationships, you know, and then what you expect of yourself in relationships becomes what everybody expects of you. And then they ultimately end up expecting way too much of you because you know you expect way too much from yourself, but you're setting the pace. So it's almost like recognizing, okay, if I set the pace, I'm able to control the pace. I'm able to now change the pace because my life has changed. Something's a little off kilter. And if I want to get it back straight, I need to change the pace. So yes, I know that maybe you're depending on a specific pace, but that's my problem, y'all. You know, your expectations are not my motherfucking responsibility. Amen. Look, we also have this card, which means you're letting go of childhood ways. You're letting go of what used to please you or work for you when you were younger, before you knew yourself. This is a time of discernment. This is a time of saying goodbye. But do you see, he's not saying goodbye like, he's saying goodbye like, I salute you. That's what he's doing. He's saying goodbye, and they're waving goodbye to each other. Like, this is the time to let go of things that don't serve you anymore, but you're letting go respectfully. You're doing it in a respectful way. You know, you're not just like throwing people off. It's like all those whimsical things that you used to believe in as a child, all those little things that used to entertain you and make you feel at home or make you feel safe, they don't work for you anymore. They're not giving you what you need. And so you're saying goodbye. You're saying goodbye, thank you. You're saying goodbye, I forgive you. You're saying goodbye, it's time for me to move on. You've helped me be this strong person. You've helped me get this far. And now I have to do the rest without you. Create. As in, you create your own life. You're the one in charge. So the world around you is the way that you built it. And if it's not as you want it to be, then Taurus, you know well enough now that you have to create it and build it as you want it to be in the image that's in your mind. Be patient with yourself, especially. Hi, beautiful little one. My puppy's under the table. This is you, be patient with yourself, because honestly, even though you kind of feel or know what you want, you may not be completely clear. What you are clear on, Taurus, is what you don't want. And that's a good place to start. But here it's like, take time in putting together this new thing, this new relationship, this new road that you're traveling on. Take time, and also offer other people patience. I think that you've gotten to be much more understanding with people who maybe at one point you wouldn't have been understanding to at all. But you've kind of learned about, through learning about your foibles and your humanity, you ultimately learn about other people's foibles and humanity. So there's a sense of just wait, be patient, and the answers are coming, and the breakthroughs and the inspiration is coming. Connect with your soul family, people who really love you, people who really care about you. You know, in our lives, Taurus, we have few constants, right? Have you ever seen that Medea kind of thing where Tyler Perry talks about some people are leaves, some people are branches, some people are the roots? You know, it's almost like these are the people that are the roots. These are the people that will never leave you. They're always going to be there for you. So there's a sense of maybe returning home or going home, or being apart and surrounded by people that are constant. You do have people in your corner. You definitely do, that are going to support you no matter what. Reaching out. Oh, that's so cute. Look how beautiful that card is. Yeah, talking to the people who care, or they'll be reaching out to you to show their support for you. Do you see her? She does that all the time on my bed. Kisses. I love you. She's the cutest little thing ever. Okay. Taurus. Lots coming out for you guys. Lots coming out. I knew that was going to happen. Okay. Okay. All right, sweets. Let's go. Okay. 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 No. Okay. Sometimes these cards are like all piled up and like don't know where they want to be. Okay. Let us begin. Claim your independence. Now, this isn't just like maybe you're claiming you're leaving a relationship. Okay. But you can also think about it as like claiming your independence from an old mindset, one that just doesn't work for you anymore. Right? A sense of being more playful, being more jovial, not being so stuck. Because you don't want to be stuck anymore. You don't want to be everybody's foundation. You want to explore. You want to have fun. And this is a sense of you doing that. Okay? Even if other people don't like it. Bring a gentle touch. So this is love. This is kindness. This is respect. This is nurturing. This is a Virgo energy. So it's new and it's fresh and it's this wide-eyed, open, playful mentality. This is like love and adventure. Wide-eyed, open, playful mentality. This is like a new beginning, like a fresh start, almost like going back to your childhood. I don't think that you're acting childlike. I think you're acting extremely mature. And that's what the juxtaposition here of this energy is really weird. It's that this is coming with maturity, not with youth. This freedom from anything that just anything that doesn't work for you. There's also a sense of something playful, maybe a playful new relationship, or just getting out of a relationship and it's made you feel so light and happy. Or there's a new love in your life that is making you realize, like inspiring you to be more playful. Whatever it is, it's speeding up and the connections are being made and things are coming together. Yeah, dude, this could be pregnancy. You see the double helix, like everything coming together all of a sudden. But ultimately, this is just a sense of communication coming in, finally getting information that you needed. Okay. With Virgo energy, could have something to do with health. Could have had to do with something that may have impeded your dexterity or your freedom or your liberation. So there's a sense of it coming in. This is Capricorn energy. Spirit has your back. This is in reverse. So in some ways you know that you're on your own here. It's not a bad thing, but you know that you're on your own here. You can handle it, but you feel a little bit disconnected. It's like people can't protect you here, and you know that. And that's part of the risk that you run. This is also a sense of maybe feeling a little bit disconnected spiritually. Ooh, reclaim your power. No, you don't agree. This may have something to do with the powers that be. You are in disagreement with somebody who has lorded over you, somebody who was your boss, maybe your school. There is a sense of like whatever the establishment was, it's something's emerging. It's almost like the underdog emerging, if you will. Let spirit be your guide. You've been receiving messages. You've been receiving signs. You could feel it coming. So ultimately, it's coming. This is a sense maybe for you to step down, because ultimately that's kind of what it's saying. It's a sense of, I don't need to do this work anymore. I don't need to do this anymore. I need to be doing something else. So ultimately, it could very well be you deciding or seeing the signs on the wall that I need to move on to something else. I need to be you need to enjoy yourself. You need to enjoy yourself and focus on beautiful things and things that please you and make you happy. Sometimes life stings. This is going to be very difficult. This is scorpionic energy. This is going to be a very difficult transition. It's going to hurt because basically you really love what you do, and you enjoyed your time, but you just know your time is over. Somehow, Taurus, there's a sense of you have to let this go in order to move on to something more. Something more. Let it shine. So you've known it for a while. I think you're about to make an announcement, or you're about to like tell somebody something that you've been keeping secret for a while. Yeah, you're about to let it out. Or this could also be deep dive discovery, like looking for answers. Looking for answers. Like diving deep. I don't know how else to say it. You are never alone. Could be about your health. You might be seeking professional advice, guidance of some sort, wisdom, insight. This is also a sense of figuring out who loves you and who doesn't. No, hold on. Because there's double scorpionic energy here. You're taking some really good advice. You're also maybe getting some bad news. It's not bad news that you can't handle, but it's news that basically, it's almost like in some ways you're on your own. You have to figure out how to handle this by yourself. And it's not in a bad way. If you reach out, you will get support, but ultimately there's a sense of you're wise enough to know better now. You're wise enough to know what it is that you need. Okay. Love is all around. This is Gemini energy. Watch and wait. This is Piscean energy. You're definitely waiting for communication from somebody. You're definitely waiting for the outcome of something. You could be waiting to understand how somebody feels about you, or them making up their mind. Finally knowing. Love is all around. Watch and wait. Love is all around. Watch and wait. Sweet results await. So this is Leo energy. Bee. Only the hardworking bee gets the honey. So this is definitely something that you've worked for. An abundance that you've worked for. Coming through. I want to clarify all of this with tarot. Okay, that link is in the description box below. You can hop on over there now, but please stay for the angel messages because that's what's coming next. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, Taurus, please do. Hit subscribe and then ring that bell so you get notified of all the uploads that I make here on YouTube, but especially the Taurus videos that I upload every single Thursday between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. So every single Thursday, you'll get a new Taurus-specific video, and you'll also get the extended over on Vimeo. You can subscribe directly to Vimeo as well, and then you'll actually have access to the extended readings a little bit earlier. FYI. You can also jump on my mailing list through my website so that you get all my weekly astrological predictions right in your inbox. Those are over on Vimeo too. And please join me every single day. Well, no, not every day. Monday through Friday, I do a daily over on Instagram. So I do a daily reading for everybody, and we get to actually talk and interact. So I'm over there all the time. Born_without_boundaries, FYI. Okay, let's get to these angel messages. Compassion. When you show greater compassion towards yourself, the universe automatically responds by showering you with greater blessings. Enough time, like stop being so hard on yourself. Positive outcome. The sun is about to burst through the clouds and you will soon see things in a different light. Something that previously seemed hopeless will soon be filled with nothing but hope. You're going to get some good news. This situation that you're in is going to resolve itself. Wisdom, you got double wisdom. Everything has its place and purpose. To be wise is to have great love, tolerance, and compassion for all things. And we see compassion here, which reminds us to include yourself in all things. So wisdom is having compassion for yourself, not being so hard on yourself, right? Creative potential. This is more create. You are by nature infinitely creative, Taurus. Life is a sea of creative potential just waiting to be expressed through you. You are free to express all your heart's desires. Look at this. That's exactly what this is. Create, love us all around, and watch and wait. Maybe you're wondering what people are going to think of something that you created. Like you're nervous about it because it's about to debut, right? Something that you created is about to debut, and ultimately you got to take pride in that. But you're nervous. Sacred source, we, your angels, are here to remind you of your magnificence. You are literally an angel in the making, a being of eternal love and light, forever one with God, Goddess, and all creation. Faith. Do not lose faith. The storm clouds will soon clear, and the sun will shine once more. There's lots of hope. Beautiful stuff. Let's see the nitty-gritty. Over there on Tarot, we're going to see. In the extended, the link is below, Taurus. I will see you guys over there.